Second Opinion Games.
Game Collector here with Second Opinion Games. The Super Nintendo is full of hidden gems, but they're becoming less and less hidden every day. But kicking over a few stones, I found Incantation for the Super Nintendo. So is it a hidden gem, or just a really polished rock? Let's find out. Overall, the graphics hold up really well even to this day. Some of the Super Nintendo developers really knew how to handle their pixel art, and it's on full display here. I enjoyed the parallax scrolling, and even the overall animations of my character. On top of it, the bosses look pretty good as well. Just wish they played a little better, but we'll get to that later. Overall, this is a fine looking game, and holds up quite well. Bare bones, or maybe no bones at all. Presentation here is a big dive. Okay, well, it has a title screen. I guess that's a plus. You get to choose from mono or stereo. Oh, thank God. I'd hate to just be forced to use stereo. On top of it, when you beat the game, just a little bit of text. That's it. Any other story? Well, I can't find any. I don't think there is any, and I really don't care. I really don't want to dive that deep into any little platformer on the Super Nintendo anyway. Well, maybe the gameplay's fun. We'll find out here in a minute, though. Sound department, completely forgettable in every way, shape, or form. I played this game for a couple hours, enough to beat it twice, and honestly, I'm just coming up with nothing here, guys. Just nothing. So I'll tell you what, I'll shut up and just watch a little bit of the game, listen to a little bit of the sound. I guess the music's not that bad, but I got nothing. Yes, gameplay time. You know what? If this was a standard platformer, I would absolutely love this game. However, they took their time to really ruin this for me. The Y button shoots and the B button jumps, just like it should. And then all the way over there is the A button, which makes you run. It kind of makes running and jumping a little more difficult having it this way. Also, when you hold the A button by itself, your character does a little stomp the ground thing that helps you smash little bits of the level that lets you drop down. Also, if you're on a platform that you can fall through, simply by pressing down lets you fall through it, which works great most of the time until you get to one level where you accidentally press down and you instantly die. That's also the same level where out of nowhere you get hit by rocks and instantly die. And earlier in the game, you could take a ton of hits before you die, up until this point. If you beat that point, you go back to taking tons of hits again. It's only on this one bit of levels where you hit a rock and instantly die. Sudden deaths really suck, especially when you do them by accident by just pressing down. Overall, this is where this game really could have shined if they just stuck to the platforming, but they didn't. On top of it, your shots are really weak. You can power them up in different ways, but honestly, I didn't see a purpose of using that feature whatsoever. Other than destroy the platforms that I could walk on easier, it just seems kind of odd and doesn't seem to make any sense to me, and I couldn't tell if my shots were any stronger or weaker because of it. Sometimes I could tell they were a little slower though, but that's really about it. Okay, I love me some end bosses, and you get a lot of them. At the end of every single stage, there is an end boss. However, they reuse the same ones again and again, and they don't even bother to change them at all. And I mean at all. The pattern is exactly the same. On top of that, the patterns are really easy to figure out. And the bosses take tons of hits with no life bar. Except for the end boss, who looks pretty awesome. And he does have a life bar, but it doesn't obey the rules. I ended up beating him, and he still had a good deal of his life left on the life bar. very confusing here, and that was pretty unacceptable. Overall, the bosses are just horrible. They take way too many hits, and their patterns are way too easy to figure out. So it's certainly no gem, but it really isn't that bad either. I did give it a lot of slack there, but it's not awful. I did have an alright time with it. That being said, I certainly wouldn't spend more than $25 for this game today, even though it's fetching a much higher price. Well, that's just my opinion anyway. Thanks for watching.